welcome to Flick Sports' first ever video blog. I'm Andrew Steele-Davis. I'm currently joined by Swindon Town captain Nathan Thompson this afternoon. Thanks for joining us, Nathan. Are you ready to take on Twitter?
Definitely, look forward to it.
Right, we've obviously been getting fans to send in their questions over the last couple of days. There's certainly a wide variety in there. We'll start with the first one from Luke Webb, who says, how do you feel about not playing alongside your brother this season?
It was a strange feeling. I think all year I've had in my head since he moved up to Norwich that I'd have that final sort of last game of the season and give him the send-off he deserved, and to have that sort of snatched away a little bit of crew was frustrating. But I mean, the following game I said to the lads, and it's important even more, we do it for Luke, and if we're able to get promoted and he's able to leave on that, then I think that's a fitting ending.
And we're going to stay on the theme of your brother now. This is quite a good one from Kay Brown, I think. She says, would you prefer auto promotion with Louis not playing for the club again, or would you prefer to go through the playoffs with the potential of your brother playing?
I think, although the playoffs is a fantastic day out, and I would, of course, I'd love Lou to be there, it's always a lottery, and regardless of what you've done this season, it comes down to those 3 matches. So I think he'd understand if I said that, yeah, I'd much prefer to take the automatic playoff place.
And I think this is the final one on the subject of you and your brother. Neil Crook says, have you ever played against your brother, and if so, was it a bit spicy?
He was always like 4 years younger, so obviously being here, I'd go and watch him and that, but we'd never play against each other. It was strange when we'd be on opposite teams in training and that, but I don't think you get the same sort of vibe as you do on a match day. So, I mean, it'd be nice for us to be in the Championship season, and who knows what will happen with Norwich if Lou's playing in the Championship or the Premiership next year, but it could be spicy if we end up there. Yeah, we'll have to see.
I'm going to throw this one in here now. I think it's one you've probably heard a dozen times before. It seems to be a tradition with this club. The cheese question. What's your favourite cheese?
I was a big fan of the Wensleydale, but I've since been dairy intolerant, so I tend to try and stick away from it. But yeah, I did like a little Wensleydale, maybe a little bit of cranberry in there. So.
Yeah, it's not a bad choice, that one, isn't it? Matt says, who did you play for as a lad, and do you still follow their results?
It was a team called Warminster Highbury. I mean, I was only here back in England because I've lived in Germany and playing for a team over in Germany called Paderborn 07 that have just been promoted to the Bundesliga. But when I come back to England, it was a team called Warminster Highbury. So I tried to follow their results a little bit, but it's always difficult. They only had up until sort of under 16s, and then they went to the Warminster Town men's team. So I'd probably say I follow the Warminster and the Paderborn team quite a bit, seeing as they're doing quite well at the moment in time. But I always keep a check on Warminster.
This one from Andy McKinley. How are you and the lads preparing mentally for the next 2 games?
If I'm honest, I don't think much changed in terms of how we've approached any game this season, although what's at stake is maybe more now. The approach has been exactly the same. We've gone about our work in the week, tactically today and tomorrow, higher intensity Monday and Tuesday. So there's been no change in that, but just making sure the boys are extremely focused and now know what's at stake.
We've got a couple more for Matt now. I think he's going to feature regularly on it. The first of those is your best and worst memories from the Paolo Di Canio era.
I think one moment that will always stand out for me is probably Stoke. That game up there was the first time I wouldn't say announced myself, but I made an impression that I felt lasted with him, and then I was able to get a start at Portsmouth the following week, and from there I become a little bit more permanent in the team. So that was definitely the highlight for me. The worst moment was probably the hammerings you got after a defeat. I mean, the clips that we used to watch after a game, and yeah, you could go to town and pull you apart for some of the things you've done in performance. But as I say, I mean, I'll always have fond memories simply because he gave me an opportunity.
And then the next one from Matt is actually sort of sticking with a player that you played alongside in that era, which is Matt Ritchie. Are you surprised that he's gone to Bournemouth and done so well? And just how far do you think he can go?
No, I'm not surprised if I'm honest. Matt was a quality player, and you saw whenever he got onto his left foot, he would cross it and put it on someone's head constantly, our own player's head, or he would have a shot on goal and inevitably be working the keeper. So yeah, he was a very good player, and to see him, I'm currently actually with the same agent as him, so I follow him quite closely, and to see him be called up by Scotland is what he deserves, and I saw him did well for him. So I have no doubt about it. If Bournemouth don't go on, he'll go on to play in the Premiership anyway.
And the questions are really coming thick and fast now. This one from Joseph Seymour. There's a few here. We'll just start with the first one. Before this season, what's your career highlight so far?
Good question. Obviously, I look back at the season when we got promoted. It was nice, but I didn't really feature myself. It wasn't ever like I didn't play that many games. I didn't even take a medal home that season because I think you had to play 12 games. So although it was nice to be part of a team that was successful, I wouldn't say that was a highlight. But it was probably establishing himself in the first team. I mean, becoming a regular, becoming captain, they're massive things for me. And then going and beating the likes of the Stokes and QPR last season, beating teams like Bristol here, they're all good highlights for me.
And hopefully we'll have another one to add in a few weeks. The next one from Joseph is, when are you next going to score a goal? I'd imagine that the next couple of games would be a nice moment to...
Yeah, of course. I mean, be fitting, and we were speaking to Jordan as well and saying that he's due a goal and that his will come like when we most need it. So I'd love to be able to chip in and contribute to a goal when we desperate for one. But I'm not going to say, I can't tell you when it is going to be.
On the subject of Jordan, it's almost become a running joke with everyone, isn't it? But he's coming closer, isn't he? I've watched him a couple of times for England as well, and he's getting closer to that goal.
He is, and this is what I say, it's going to come at a crucial time, and it's going to be fitting because Jordan's been fantastic this season for us, a very, very consistent player, and you've seen him grow. I've watched him since we used to come up here, and I was maybe under 14s, he was under 10s, and yeah, seen him grow at Southampton, then come back on loan and to play alongside him now is brilliant. He's a fantastic player, and I have no doubt about it. He will score at a crucial time for us this season.
And the last one from Joseph now. Who's the best player you've played with at Town so far?
It's probably got to be, in terms of what he's done this season, Charlie Austin. Caught up with him the other day. I'm surprised he wasn't in the England squad because he's been prolific in front of goal. I said it when he was here. The guy doesn't need two chances. He always finish for you. He's always in the right place at the right time, and it's a sign of the top striker. So I think it's got to be him.
And another one from Matt is, this is quite an interesting one actually. What Premier League teams do you and Louis support, if there is one? And do you and the lads get a chance to go and watch other teams play?
We both grew up supporting Spurs. We're big fans. My dad is a big Tottenham fan, and we were encouraged to support them. But I think over time, I don't know, I wouldn't say fell out of love with them, but where you're so sort of obsessed with your own performances in your own team that you don't really follow them as much. So although I keep an eye on their results and that sort of thing, I wouldn't say I'm a big fan anymore.
And this one from Matty Edwards, and it is quite recent events here. Is what are your views on the signing of Sam Ricketts, and what impact do you think he'll have on the team? Obviously, he's been there and done it, hasn't he, in terms of what he's achieved in his CV.
Without a doubt, I mean, I had a conversation with him on the way back from training today, talking about what it's like, that promotion feel, and he was saying he's done it from League 2, League 1 and from the Championship, and it's the best feeling in the world. So to bring a player his quality to us, he can play all over the pitch, he's plenty of experience, and we can call upon that, and it will be needed when times get tough in the next couple of weeks, because we can be sure it won't be all plain sailing. But yeah, it's a quality signing. We've seen him this week in training. Really, really good addition to the squad.
Now this question from Jay Collett has taken us away from the football a little bit, but his question is: will you ever get taken away with the tattoos and footballers? The sort of fad that there seems to be there.
No, not for me. I don't know if I was speaking to Ben and saying the agony that he was when he got his recent tattoo. It really doesn't interest me in the slightest. So now he's staying well clear of that.
Because Ben's got quite a few himself, hasn't he?
Yeah, but I think his recent one is on his hand, and he just said it was excruciating. So it's not something that I'll be getting done anytime soon, that's for sure.
I'm going to throw a few of these together because it's all on the subject of Tuesday night. These are from Andy McKinley and Matt again. Firstly, do you think the Bristol City players will be out to try and wind you and the players up? And also, this one from Matt is, do you think you'll be able to manage the venomous reception that you may receive on Tuesday, obviously following what happened the last time you and Bristol City met?
Definitely. I think over the year I've had to grow up. I mean, at the start of the season I was trying to protect my players and mature and look after them. I was finding myself in the book for silly things like that. But yeah, as I said, I've had to grow up, and I've been looking forward to this Bristol game for a long time. I mean, after every single game I seem to get stick from Bristol regardless of the result. So it will be a hostile reception, but it's what football is all about, and I'm looking forward to it. I'll make sure that I'm not hot-headed going into the game, and I think when you looked at how pumped up they were for the game previously, they got themselves in trouble and found themselves a man down. So we'll make sure that everyone's calm and collected, and we'll approach it in a professional manner.
I mean, obviously, with the affiliation you got with the club and being a local boy as well, this sort of game's made for you, isn't it?
I was absolutely loving it, and it was the first thing Lou said when he did his injury was like he was absolutely devastated he couldn't play Ashton Gate. I think it's always going to be different when you move on and play for a different club and go to stadiums like that, because it hasn't got the same sort of tie. But yeah, and I think it would be extremely fitting when either me or George popped up with a goal there. That would be ideal.
Now, these next couple of questions I'm quite looking forward to hearing the answer to. I'm not sure how he knows this, but this one from Coffee Colour is, he wants to know if Yasser Kassim does the hoovering in the house, or is this a task that you undertake?
I wish. Yes. Let's say it's the best with the Hoover, let's put it that out. He's a good lad, and it's been fantastic having him as a housemate. He's got a very eye for detail, and speaking to him after games and stuff like that, he's always you can always pick up things that maybe I haven't seen, so he's fantastic for that sort of thing. But yeah, he's a really good lad, and will always be fond of Yass.
We've talked to obviously Jack Stevens and Jordan Turnbull. I think their washing up habits have been discussed in this group. Does Yasser muck in with the washing up?
Yeah, he does occasionally. I mean, I tend to cook for him. I haven't seen his cooking skills, but yeah, he'll tend to wash up afterwards. He's pretty good at that.
These two from Martin is, the first one is your favourite all-time football channel, and also what is your favourite Friends character, if you've ever watched it, that is.
Friends character. Football channel, without a doubt, it's got to be my news one. Hearing that every time is extremely proud, and whenever I've got family here and they hear it, it makes the hairs on the back of their neck stand up. Friends, good question. I would say Jennifer Aniston, Rachel, but I'll probably get in trouble with the missus for that, so I'll probably have to say Joey. It's a good crack, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. This one from Joseph: if you could pick any striker that you've played against to put in the Swindon team, who would it be and why?
Good question. It's a funny one, because simply the way we play requires a different type of striker. It's not someone that's just going to stand up front and get us, maybe it's like a fox in the box. We need someone who's going to work hard and defend from the front, and also hold it up for us. So yeah, you obviously require different things. Playing against the season, the best in this league at the time was probably Benica Phobie. I mean, trying to play out with him, he was relentless. He was constantly trying to tracking me, nicking it off me and stuff. So I think that's what you need from a striker. So yeah, I'd say he'd be a good addition.
It must also be a relief for you that he won't be there on Saturday, obviously having gone to Wolves in January.
Yeah, I mean, and you've seen it at Wolves. I was speaking to Sam again, and he was saying that he's on fire down there, doing really, really well. So that doesn't surprise me. So yeah, it'd be nice that I might have to chase him or him chasing me for that. 90 minutes, but I'm sure they got Will Grigg, he possesses quite his own qualities. So it'll be an interesting one again.
This one from Copy Colour again is actually quite a good one. Do you prefer being the rampaging fullback, which we've seen you obviously undertaking your early career here, or obviously as we've now known you this season, the sort of centre of the back three? Which one do you prefer?
I'd probably say I'm enjoying the centre half role even more. I think although I'm getting on the ball a little bit more, I can probably take some more criticism. It's not nice. I've been in the position for a little bit longer than some of the younger lads, and if some of the younger lads have made the mistake that I've made, at times it can be not nice. So to be able to deflect that from them, I think is an advantage. But I also can oversee the whole pitch from that central position, so I'm able to talk and communicate with lads if they're not in the right position and help the rest of the team out. So yeah, I think I'm enjoying this, and for longevity of the career, I think the centre half role is ideal.
Just obviously we'll move on obviously with the question, but just how much sort of extra training have you had to put in sort of to make that transition from?
Yeah, it was a lot, especially early parts of the season, because it was so different. Speaking to the lads that had gone away with England, and they tried a similar formation, and where the boys hadn't played it before, the lads hadn't played in that formation before, they said it stood out. So it does require a lot of extra training, and we've put that in, and you've seen from the performances this year, when we get it right, it works, and teams can't live with it. So it's been fitting the way that it's worked for us.
This one from Laura Parnham is: who will be your lunch date at Cafe Nexus when Louis goes in the summer?
It's a good question. Very good question. I mean, me and Lou, it's just been making the most of it. At the end of the day, we've been so used to having each other's company over the last X amount of years that these last couple of months is just making sure. But who knows? Who knows who's going to be here? Who knows who's going to come in? We'll have to just see in the new season, I guess.
This one for Matt, I think obviously the way Norwich are going at the moment, I think they could well end up in the Premier League. But his question is that if Swindon and Norwich do meet next season, what will you do if that pits you up against your brother?
I think both of us understand that we've got to do our job on a Saturday, before the game, after the game. We'll always be best of friends. We'll always be have that close relationship, but come for the 90 minutes that we're playing, that's got to go out the window to a certain degree. So you've got to get on with your job at hand. So although it won't be probably my mum and dad will feel it the hardest, it'll be a challenge.
This one, we're on to the last few questions now, but this one from Aidan Pritchard is going back to Tuesday night. His question is: do you, as a group of players, get more nervous on Derby Day, or do you purely treat it as another game, or was it hard to sort of do that, especially with the circumstances now?
I don't think it's nerves, it's excitement. I think it's rare at this level that the stadium sells out. You have the atmosphere that you do on Derby. It's very rare that you have the same atmosphere you do when you play Bristol City. So and when with what's at stake now is something that we're really looking forward to. And I wouldn't say it's any more nerves. And I get quite nervous before every game because you care about the performance you're about to put in, and each game's worth the same amount of points. So yeah, there'll be no change in mentality in that sense at all.
This one from Tommy Mez is quite a good one. His question is: do you think Cooper and Luke Williams are good enough to one day manage a Premier League team?
I think so. I mean, they've changed their philosophy, they've the style of play. I mean, we went up to QPR the other day, and even though sort of 6 or 7 of our regular first team players weren't playing, the lads that stepped in played in exactly the same manner, and the club's now got an identity. And I think you can take that with you wherever you go. Like, if you're able to change so much in such a short space of time, and for it to be successful, and I can't see why that can't work elsewhere. So yeah, I have no doubt that both of them will work in high leagues.
Well, we'll sort of try and round this off now. Just the last few. This is a bit of a strange one from Steve Sharman, but I shall ask it anyway. His question is: if you had to live on a desert island with Barack Obama or David Cameron, who would it be and why?
It's a strange one. I didn't know how to answer that one. I'm not sure.
We'll we'll skip that one.
Yeah.
These ones from Danielle Wilson is, what is your favourite past £200 player that you've seen play in your lifetime?
Favourite Swindon player. Another good question. Don't want to sound like I'm bigging up Charlie too much, but as I say, the guy was ridiculous when he was here. He was such a good finisher, and that's why I think that he'll play for England. So, although it does seem like I'm loving him, I'd probably have to say Charlie.
And this one from Danielle again is Nando's or Roosters?
Nando's for me. But probably I'd choose Moshen over them both. Moshen Island, give them a bit of a shout out. They're probably my favourite of the other two.
Has the new Nando's been benefiting from the players here?
It has done. We went as a team like the first day it opened, and then I think we've been back a couple of times since. Yeah, it's always going to go down well. Team of boys, their team.
Well, we'll do the final question now, and this one is from Matt, who's going to round this off. Have you got any strange pre-match routines or superstitions?
Yeah, I mean, I tend to stick to exactly the same regime that got us a result last week. So say we played last week, and I'd had my hair cut on that Friday, and I'd do exactly the same again, eat the same food prior, and it's got me into a bit of a rut at the moment, simply because with the amount of games coming up, I've been getting my hair cut every time. I have no hair left on the end of the season for 9 games in a month, but yeah, it seems to just stick, and it's doing the trick at the moment in time, so I'm going to continue.
Great stuff. Thanks very much.
Well done.